Thank you. No, I'm almost gone.
Susan Maracle takes time out to play with her son Justin. 3 years ago, jesting and games were not in the cards. Justin was laid up for several months in the hospital after a simple shopping trip. That visit, here in their hometown of Penetanguishene, was to this San's store. It's a day she and her fiancé Kevin won't soon be forgetting.
I was at the other end of the aisle, and I heard Kevin tell Justin, "Put the toy back, Justin. Your mom's ready to leave. Put the toy back." And then I heard the bang.
In this macabre twist of fate, Justin Maracle had fallen on a hook like this. They are everyday staples in stores everywhere, hanging up everything from slippers to jewelry to stationery supplies. But these benign-looking display hooks are proving to be a dangerous, quiet menace.
It went through like a butter knife. It went into him like a butter knife. It entered over the right eye, right through his skull and into his brain. I was hysterical. I screamed for 911. I held my son. I tried to hold the bleeding and hold the spike as very still as possible.
Justin Maracle was rushed to the hospital for sick children in Toronto. On his 5th night there was a turn for the worse. Justin's brain had swollen to capacity.
So they ended up having to take out the right frontal lobe, all of it, and part of the left frontal lobe of his brain. He lost a lot of himself that day. How about the word on?
Oh, I.
No.
Justin has had changes to his learning, behavior, moods, and memory. Doctors aren't certain yet if it's permanent. But at school, he has to have an educational assistant with him at all times.
Starts with an O. And they had to teach Justin how to walk and talk and all that stuff that you learn when you're a baby all over again.
Where? Now?
Now.
Where?
If you ask Justin a question, you'll see him hesitate, whereas most kids his age will answer you as soon as you ask the question. Justin has to search for the answer in his brain, and it takes him a few moments. And by the time he thinks of the answer, he may forget about the question.
Justin's case is not an isolated incident. There are at least 3 cases in the U.S. where children have suffered brain injury due to these display hooks. But the eye is the more likely injury if your child trips and hits a hook. And that's a story Marketplace first reported 11 years ago.
And they love it.
That was the story of 2-year-old Katie McRae. She was with her parents at the Bay in Halifax. Her father, Brad McRae, explained.
As toddlers do, she tripped just before the display. And to my horror, she fell in the display and the hook got her in the eye.
Katie lost some of her vision at first, but has since fully recovered. Today, over a decade later, her father, Brad McRae, remembers the worry.
During that year, when we didn't know if she was going to be all right, it was horrendous.
Who's closed in Disney?
And Katie McRae, who has no memory of the hook incident that cost her the sight in her left eye, is now a teenager.
If I lost most of the vision in my eye, I wouldn't be able to play soccer.
And how would that make you feel?
I love soccer. It would be horrible.
The McRaes are horrified that these hanging displays are considered bona fide still in so many stores. Susan Maracle agrees.
They should change them. They should change them. I mean, these particular scenarios happen all over the place.
Health Canada did its own snapshot survey in May 2002 of hospitals tracking hook injuries. Their data from a small sample of 15 hospitals showed 39 injuries in 10 years. We went to the children's section in the Penetanguishene San where Justin Maracle fell, and the hooks look like this. Most of them are bent down now, but are still dangerous. We know of cases where this type of hook has injured children's eyes. But San is not the only store on the hook. Marketplace took a look and cited numerous stores that still stock the sharp hooks. Store reps told us they didn't realize they posed such a danger.
What are you going to do about something like this?
Well, now I have to move it and probably put it on the wall itself, which will be safer on the wall.
We'll change it. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big expensive item either. It's cost like maybe 25 cents, 30 cents to buy these. But what other hook they can use? Plastic one maybe?
Well, they've got some that go around double that come out and go back in.
Oh, okay.
Ones like these.
When you bought these, did you know on your eyes at the time that these were safer hooks than the single ones?
Oh, no, really, but I find out later. They are more safe.
The Gap, the Bay, companies that responded to his campaign and now use safer models. That gives McRae a glimmer of hope.
Well, you never know what you're going to get till you ask. And if you ask in writing, people will really take you seriously.
Flag and...
Susan Miracle has had to learn the world of doctors and medication with her son Justin. And now she's learning that of law and litigation. On his behalf, she has hired herself a lawyer to take on San.
I'm taking them to court to sue them for Justin's injuries, for Justin, so that Justin has a future. They took it from him. Justin's possibilities could have been huge had he not have had part of his brain taken away from him. They tell me the frontal lobe is his personality. And in my opinion, they took my son's personality. And to see his personality now swing the way it does, he's going to have a lot of problems.
San chose not to speak with us while the case is between lawyers. We'll keep watching this story.
These days, when it's time to buy a new pair of sneakers, we're faced with a lot of choices. Some might say too many, and they sure don't come cheap. Well, cartoonist Bob Monks has put his foot down.